Ladies and gentlemen, here's some comic reviews for you. Here's Divinity 3 Shadow Man, number 1, put out by Valiant. Now, this is the Stalinverse universe, where basically Russia took over. And, excuse me, it's kind of like an interesting take. Because it's like, a lot of the key heroes are on the side of the Russians. And they're just destroying everything. And this is basically them launching an attack against the U.S., and then Shadow Man is there to try to stop them, but things just don't work out for him. So, I mean, I really enjoying it in the sense that it's, like I said, it's an interesting take on their characters. So if you're looking for something different, I could recommend giving the Stalinverse a try. Batman Detective number 950. Now, there's 3 parts to this story here, and it's actually, overall, it's a decent read, but it's more of a character building. The first part is with Orphan, and it's really going over who she is and what her issues are, because she definitely has issues, because she's a trained assassin and she's trying to hold back, and she's just having a very difficult time. Then we have a little short with Azrael, and then at the very end, we have a little dialogue between Tim Drake and Batman. Now, this takes place before Tim Drake, got supposedly killed. And Tim Drake figured out, basically, that Batman's up to some shenanigans. He's like, you're preparing us for war, what's going on? And that's unfortunately where it ends. But this definitely ties directly into the Batman, or not really the Batman, but the Watchmen Rebirth storyline. Now, Batman and the Flash are going to be, I think it's their issues number 21 or so, but they're going to be dealing with the comedian and Watchmen. So all of this stuff is starting to head, basically all these loose ends are finally going to be explained, and I really can't wait. One of the theories that is floating around the internet is Batman knows that Tim Drake is alive. He set everything up so this way Tim Drake would be taken to the other side, and he can try to escape and then figure out who they are and what their plans are, and probably try to sabotage him from that side. But that's just a theory. We'll see what happens if they decide to continue that little bit of the storyline in the next issue. Justice League of America Rebirth number 1. This is just Batman getting the team together, and this, well, they made this look like this is Batman's reaction to the Suicide Squad team up. And, Batman going, well, people need to have heroes that aren't gods, people who are, kind of like regular people, but they're superheroes. Which I'm like going, dude, you got Lobo, so I don't know how that part's going to work. But I thought overall the issue was just okay. But it's just basically let's get the team together and introduce who people are. So it's really nothing special. And, of course, again, like, you can tie this potentially into what's going on in The Watchmen, but we'll see. The art's decent, the story's okay, but nothing to write home about. Now, with the Titans, basically what's going on here is you just had their first major battle. Everybody's in cooldown mode. And you have a couple older Titans from the past. Bumblebee, and I forgot the other guy's name, but they're like, they're going to this company to, one guy, the guy got rid of his powers, and Bumblebee's like trying to explore her powers, and I'm just like looking at this guy here, and I'm like going, oh my gosh, he just radiates a villain, and of course nobody sees that, but until at the very end, which actually I'm really glad that they're actually exploring these villains again. Eventually the Titans are going to face off against the Fearsome Five, and overall they're a really good team for the villain, our team of villains, I should say, for the Titans to fight against. Overall, though, it's an okay issue. It's nothing special, not even average. It's just you're just waiting for the fight for the next issue. All-Star Batman. This one is basically, this issue here explores Poison Ivy. And Poison Ivy's gone through some changes over time. Overall, the story's okay. It's nothing fantastic, but it is, I guess you can say, it's an interesting look at the relationship between Batman and Ivy. And, how while she is a villain, there's times where Batman needs her help, or I guess you can say he has a soft spot for her because of the situation that Bruce Wayne caused Ivy. But overall, I mean, it's an okay read. It's nothing. I mean, it's probably going to get really high reviews and stuff, but I just thought it was just an okay book. The art's okay. The story was just okay, except for it was like more of an interesting take on this character, but it wasn't what I would have considered life-changing, or like if I didn't read this, I could have done without it type thing. Alright, Suicide Squad with art by JRJR. Now, he does the first part of this story, and then there's another part which actually was really interesting, the direction it took. Now, this is basically going to be fallout from the big crossover battle and the betrayal of the Suicide Squad before this one. Overall, I was pleased with it. It's not perfect, but overall it was decent. If you like JRJR's art, you're gonna love it. If you don't like his art, you're gonna just cringe. But overall, I thought the book was, decent. Again, it's not award winning. If anything, the extra part at the end was where it was actually really got more interesting, because it was basically the Suicide Squad getting a little R&R, but with a little extra with Amanda Waller. Marvel, IVX. Now, before I go over this, we have some potential good news. In Bleeding Cool, there's 2 articles. One is 2018 is going to be the return of heavy, like the AAA writers. Now, the rumor was Marvel is working a special deal, or not really want to say special deals, but they're trying to work with a lot of these creators to get them back, and then to get issues in the can way ahead of time, so this way there's no lateness issues. And if that is true, I'm looking forward to that. The second part is apparently Marvel understands that we're sick and tired of all this political and real world situation stuff, but it was too late to do anything to the Secret Empire storyline. That's too far down the rabbit hole, and they can't change course. So once that's done, it's going to be back to the basics. We're going to see a lot of the major heroes come back, and it's going to be brand new day. Which is, if this information is correct, I'm ecstatic. Now, we can kind of see it going that direction, in the sense of the X-Men are going back to the basics, according to previews. If you believe that or not. But it looks like they're going back to a more classic team, and at least for the X-Men Gold. And, the very first villains are the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. So I'm hopeful. Very hopeful. Take it all with a grain of salt, but we'll see. Alright, let's get into IVX4. Alright, this should really come as no surprise to you, but This is the issue that the Inhumans basically fight back. You know, Medusa looks and studies this cage, and she's like, well, obviously air can get through here and sound can get through here, and she figures out a way to get out of it. And I'm like, oh, just like, okay, fine. You gotta give them a chance to get out. And then that's when the new Inhumans realize why the X-Men are doing what they're doing. And there's a question of, you know, are they really the bad guys in this? Overall, I mean, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's better than Civil War 2. It's better than Monsters Unleashed. It's, you know, but it's just dealing with a bunch of characters we don't care about. And we already know, because of Resurrection, we already know that all the mutants are going to be saved, and it's going to be, you know, glory days again type thing. But otherwise, like I said, it's better than the other big blockbuster main event series that have come out recently. And that's what we got for this week. Let me know what you guys liked or didn't like this week. We'll have some more stuff later. Like and share. And until next time.